Well, hello there. I am the Nast Blast, and I am back with another Wizard101 video. Today, I want to take a look at and talk about the most appealing aspect of the game. Of course, I'm talking about the spells, but not just any type. I want to show off what I believe are the coolest and most rad spells in the game. Now, I'm not necessarily talking about the best spells or ones that I personally use the most or like the most. I am looking strictly at these spells from a mostly unbiased point of view. I just want to show off some spells and animations that are just utterly and completely righteous, and you can't really convince me otherwise. And just to let you know, there are a ton of spells in this game, and a lot of them are pretty dope. But we're just going to be ranking what I consider to be the top 10, with maybe some honorable mentions. With all that out the way, let's go and get started with this rankings, and see what Wizard101 truly has to offer when it comes to sick creatures and animations. Let's start this video off at number 10, which in itself is a classic and one of the OG spells seen on the commercials and probably was a major player in attracting most of the player base. We are of course talking about the rank 6 fire spell, the Elephant. Now, not only is the name pretty raw, but this intro is as well, showing the demon elephant slowly rise from hell, which fits with the lore, having most of the Oni and demon representation in the game be in the form of elephants, and the powerful swipe left by the elephant has a ton of weight behind it, giving presence to this creature that it rightfully deserves. Now, a lot of old spells didn't make the cut, not because they're not cool, because they certainly are. It's just some of them don't really hold up as well as a lot of the newer spells. You know, the newer ones are better animated. So a lot of the later on spells that you learn, and we'll be taking most of the higher spots on this list. But, you know, Elephant definitely is one of the coolest spells and is barely held back by being old. Same could be said for the spell that is taking the 9th slot in this ranking. That being the rank 7 ice spell, Frost Giant. One of the original, what I call, God cards. That's because the rank 7 spells were the original strongest spells of the game, and Frost Giant being the most iconic for sure. I mean, it was shown in the commercials alongside the elephant, but I can't deny how cool his design is, even if he becomes one of the most annoying and hated spells that can be used on you later on in the game. But yeah, that pretty much covers the early game original spells. We're going to be moving on to more modern spells now. Taking the spot for the 8th coolest spell in the game is the rank 6 Shadow Fire spell, Raging Bull. Probably the most intimidating fire spell of them all. Even more so than the Fire Dragon and Elephant. The animation gets pretty heated too, having the bull run down a corridor of flames almost like it's in hell. Now I say that's pretty metal, but that's all I pretty much gotta say about this dude. Going back to another older spell though for number 7, with what I think is probably one of the most rad storm spells of them all. The rank 8 spell for the school, Leviathan. This purple serpent has pure power behind it, and the ominous animation of seeing its tail in the fog just reassures that if this spell is being directed to you, you're about to get turbo clapped. And even though it hits hard, that's not all you should be weary of, because even if you survive, it removes some of your blades as well, so yeah, just a pure monster. Now, let's go over a spell that isn't a creature, but still pretty awesome nonetheless. The number 6 spot goes to the rank 10 myth spell, Celestial Calendar. One of the hardest hitting single hit spells in the game, and it sure deserves it, considering it literally aligns all the planets in the spiral, focusing a single divine ray of death onto one unfortunate soul. And not only that, but if you manage to survive, it gives one more you to the target by stealing one pip. Did it need to do that? No, but it's gonna do it anyway. Leading us to the second half with the number 5 spot being the rank 3 Death Arc Mastery spell, Gravestorm. This is the first and certainly not the last Arc Mastery spell on this list, most of which being insanely cool and interesting. And realistically, more of them could have been on this list, but I wanted some of the other eras of the game to get some spotlights, especially since the current last 2 worlds of the game have Arc Mastery spells being used, so better to show off some spells that people are going to be able to actually use in the game, like Elephant and Leviathan. But, you know, since we're at the top 5 now, it's time to show off some of these in-game insane spells, like this one. I mean, this thing is just insane. It fuses death and storm magic, making this skull spirit made entirely of storm clouds and grave dust. It then absorbs the souls of whatever it's used on, then turns into like a water balloon of some sort, healing the caster. Definitely one of the wildest and most creative spells in this game. Death is one of those types that just gets a lot of the sickest looking spells for sure. This applies for the spell in the 4th spot, that being the rank 5 shadow death spell, the Call of Cthulhu, or just Cthulhu, that's what every normal person calls it. Another death spell that is just insane. I especially love the spells that completely change the scenery, like this one where it turns the sky completely red, and mixed with the tar black ocean just gives off dark energy and the vibe that a horrible god is being released, and someone for sure is getting messed up. Cthulhu is summoned, absorbing the essence of the target and delivering it to the caster, giving them health much like Gravestorm. I mean, what else can I say about it? It's Cthulhu. You're literally summoning an old god to harvest your enemy's souls. Doesn't get much more metal than that. But don't worry, the top of this list isn't just going to be full of dark and edgy death spells. Honestly, I could probably make a whole other list on just those. No, the number 3 spot is actually going to be a balance spell. The first and last one on the list. We're talking about the rank 3 Arc Mastery spell for balance, Rainbow Serpent. This is the newest level 170 spell, so you're probably not going to see it as much, but that doesn't change the fact that it is one of the coolest and unique looking spells in the game. To be completely honest, I don't even really understand it. There's like a cave with magical goo that makes a cave painted serpent come to life, which then makes other paintings come to life. Then they all come together to use the goo as like some kind of an attack. Pretty wild. I don't understand why it uses death pips but does storm damage, but it's still wild nonetheless. And this is just an example of in-game stuff for you. It just gets weird. And now we're at the final 2 spots. These are just cool spells. For example, the number 2 spot is the rank 3 Arc Mastery life spell, Star Spawn. This one is just utterly crazy. Taking place in a universe skybox, you unleash a cosmic egg that is incubated by a sun. Then it hatches into a universe-sized entity, then using the power of life and fire magic, unleashes an annihilation blast that could shatter the cosmos onto a single enemy. The power of the universe in your hand. Pretty cool. Before we get to the final spot, I just want to say that there are a ton of cool spells, and people are definitely going to be mad that some of their favorite spells aren't on the list. And to tell you the truth, most of my favorite spells aren't even on the list. But I'm just going to throw out a few honorable mentions here, so I don't get completely cooked in the comments.
in my hand.
Alright, and with that, let's move on to what I think is the coolest looking spell in the entire game right now. Without a doubt, talking about the insane moon spell, Gobler Polymorph.
It's time.
You got skinny.
Well, I can gobble. I can gobble and heal up. I'm gobbling.
No. Oh no! Oh, I thought you were gonna rip ass on him, but you like...
No,
Puke
no,
on
I was just
yourself.
healing. I'll see with this one. This may be the fart.
One of them's gotta be. No, you just... Alright, yeah, I'm just kidding, but if you're interested in that clip and watching some Wizard101 gameplay, go check out the second channel, the Nast Cast. Okay, let's get to the real #1 coolest spell in the game. That seat belongs to the rank 3 Arc Mastery Ice spell, Deathly Depths. I know it's a pretty edgy spell, but hey, at least it's not technically another death spell. It's an ice spell that uses death pips. But yeah, can you blame me for putting this one up here as #1? I mean, it starts off with a unique camera view of you bobbing in the Arctic Ocean, with a view of the dark cosmic sky, then sinking to the bottom of the ocean after an iceberg flips over causing waves, then revealing said iceberg is actually like a frozen dragon skull, or a goat skull, I don't know, it's a creature skull, surrounded by the souls of the damned. Then it erupts out of the ocean, firing the souls of the damned out of its mouth. And honestly, it doesn't get more cool than that. It's kind of fitting that the coolest spell in the game is an ice spell. Go figure. And on that note, hopefully some of you will agree, most of you probably won't, but I feel like I made some good arguments here. So, if you got your own list, go ahead and post them in the comments. I will definitely read them. I've got some more videos coming out as well, especially Wizard101 videos. And if you want to see more of my content, mostly of me playing other games and such, go check out my second channel at the Nast Cast. That's where I'll be posting more gaming videos and playthroughs and such, if you're interested. Well anyways, I'm the Nast Blast, and I'll see you next time. And I hope you have a nasty night. And peace out.